Good morning. So I've been hearing from some of you that you are just having some pain in your hips, tight hips. So we will work on that a little bit today. So first, let's just get the body moving, the spine, the hips. So I'm going to get you on your hands and knees. And again, you can go down on your elbows and knees here too if the wrists aren't happy there. And you're just going to curl the tailbone under, round the back into that angry cat, and then lift the tail feathers and go into our happy puppy. And curl the tailbone under and round the back. Nice big deep breaths. And lift the sit bones and go all the way the other way. And again, and let's go one more time. All right, so now lying down on your back. And same idea here, we'll get the spine and the hips moving, rolling up into a shoulder bridge. Hold it here. Soften the breastbone and roll back down. And again, roll it up. And roll back down. Now roll it up. You're going to hold the one side while you try to roll down through the other side. So getting a little bit of rotation. And then lift. And other side. And lift. Try to really work through the ribs. Lengthening through the sit bones. Lengthening the spine by pulling the sit bones towards your heels. And roll back down. Bring your legs and feet right together. Neutral pelvis, so you've got the center of your sacrum on the mat. Open one knee out to the side and lift it back up. Open the other knee out to the side and lift it up. Just a nice, easy, loose movement through the hip, just making sure that you're staying stable through your pelvis, through your center. Nice, big, deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, blowing out through the mouth. Put a little effort, that little oomph through that exhale, like you're trying to blow out a candle that's up on the ceiling. One more time each side. Now, take your feet apart and drop a knee in towards the center. And up. Nice wide feet. And try to drop the knee. And lift. And drop the knee. And lift. Nice, big, deep breaths. One more time each side. All right, now hug one knee into your chest. And switch, hug the other knee into your chest. And hug both knees. And just do a little roll around, like you're tracing the outside of your sacrum. And changing direction. All right, let's put one foot down. You're just still going to hug one knee into your chest. What I want you to do is just do little circles with that leg. So not very big, just again, sort of stirring the pot. And changing direction. Using your arms to help. So again, it's a nice, easy movement. And other leg. And changing direction. All right, lying on your side. Your arms straight out in front of you. Knees bent. And let's go. Circle the arm up overhead, all the way behind you. Follow it. Look and make sure the chest is going with the arm. And then up and over to return. And again, up. And try to leave your knees, let your knees be heavy so they're not coming with you. And one more time. And other side. And again, arms straight out in front and circle the arm up and over and return. And again, up and over. Again, try to keep those knees heavy. And let's go one more time. All right, and sitting up. And let's just have the feet out in front of you. And here, let's go here. Open one knee out to the side. And the other knee. Sit up nice and tall. Your arms are there, but you're not leaning back on them. Now, drop the knee, slide the leg out, roll it to point the knee in, and pull it in and up. And then other knee, drop it out to the side, slide it out, and pull it in and up. So you drop the knee, slide it out, roll it in, and pull it in and up, and drop it out. And let's go both legs at the same time. Out. And roll them in. Ooh, sticking to my back. And out. And in. Out. And in. One more. All right, back onto all fours. And you're going to take your hip down to one side. So let's bring your legs and your feet right together, and you're going to drop your hip or bring your hip down. Keep both arms straight and look up and over your shoulder, and then pull up. Bring the other hip down and look up and over your shoulder. And I don't want you to hold it. We're just moving through this stretch. You may feel a stretch in the outside of the hip or even up into the lower back. Last time. Now you're going to come up onto one knee. So again here, if you have a thinner mat, you may want to double it up to give your knee some extra padding. So you're coming up onto one knee. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little stretch for the hip flexors here to start. So you're going to come forward and then push with that front foot. Push back. Come forward, feel that lengthening in front of the hip and push back. Come forward and push back. As you go forward, lean forward with the torso as well. So I don't want you to keep your torso upright and just send the hip forward. Make sure that when you are coming back, you are pushing off with that back foot, or the front foot, sorry. I don't want you to pull back by shortening into those hip flexors. We're trying to keep them nice and long here. Now, same arm as leg that's back, reach that arm up. Reach it up. Two more. Now, stay here. You're going to keep reaching up through that arm. Squeeze that cheek back there. So squeeze, 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 squeeze. Now hold it here. Keep squeezing your cheek. Keep reaching up. Give me a huge, big, deep breath in and out. And again, squeeze that cheek. Big, deep breath in and out. And again, squeeze that cheek. Reach up. Big, deep breath in and out. And then bring your hands down. Walk your hands around to the front to come out of there, and we'll do the other side. All right, so first, just come forward and push off that front foot. And come forward, push off that front foot. Again, make sure that you are leaning forward, that you aren't trying to hold your torso upright and getting into a big arch here. And come forward and push off the front foot. Forward, push off that front foot. Now let's go two more times. Oh no, we need to reach the arm. Now reach up as you come forward. And back. And again, reach up. And come forward and back. And reach up. And back. And push off that front foot to come back. Now come forward and stay here. Squeeze that cheek back there and big deep breath in and out. And again, squeeze that cheek, big deep breath in and out. And again, squeeze that cheek, big deep breath in and out. And then place your hands down and walk yourself out of there. All right. Lying down on your back. You're going to take your one ankle and put it over the other knee. And first, all I want you to do is tip your pelvis. Tip your pelvis all the way one way and all the way the other way. Try to keep that knee nice and open and try to just get that pelvis tipping forwards and back. So again, you're trying to go right down to your tailbone and then right up to the top of your sacrum, flattening the lower back. Now, let's continue that movement all the way up. So you're going to tuck the bum under and now continue to roll up through the spine. Hold it here and then rolling down through the ribs, through the lower back, and then again roll that pelvis all the way down to the tailbone, get a huge arch. Now, come back up, curl the tailbone under and roll it up, and roll back down. And let's go one more time. And let's switch legs. So again, first, just the pelvis, roll it forwards and back. Trying to open up that knee as much as you can. All right, and now we'll roll up through the spine. So you'll tuck the bum under and roll it up. Hold it there again, making sure you're still trying to open that knee, and then roll back down, working your way down through the ribs, through the lower back, and then tip that pelvis all the way, working down towards the tailbone, and then all the way back up. And let's go one more time. All right, and again, grab behind your knees, hug your knees into your chest, and let's just do little circles again. And around the other way. All right, on to all fours again. And let's stick that one leg out behind you and try to sit back on your heel. And again, your arms are here to help you balance, but I don't want you to pull yourself up with your arms. You're going to press up from the leg. And sit back towards your heel and press up. And let's go two more. And then, of course, we have to do the other leg. So stretch out that other leg. And let's go. Sit back. And again, don't pull yourself up with your arms. Press up from that leg. And again. Yeah, one more time. All right, and now let's go with your feet together, knees apart. And you're really going to think of squeezing your feet together. Your feet, your heels, whatever touches back there, squeeze them together. And you're going to sit back. And again, as you sit back, you're going to lean forward a little. And then come up, squeeze your heels together, and try to imagine you're trying to pull the mat together with your knees. And then reach back and pull up and in, and reach back and pull up and in, reach back, crack, and come up and in, and again. And reach. Really make sure here that you're not tucking your bum under. You're really trying to lift those sit bones. And then come up and squeeze everything up and in. And again. And reach. And squeeze. Reach, inhale. Exhale, pull up with your breath. And let's go 2 more. Good. So now you're going to sit back. Now, let's call this one lick the floor. So we're going to come forward, trying to imagine you're trying to lick the floor. So you're trying to stay as low as you can as you come forward. So come forward and then lift your chest and try to drop your hips. And then reach your hips back. Stay nice and low as you come forward and drop your hips. Pull up through the abdominals, lift your chest. And again, reach back, sitting back into your hips. And then come forward and lift and try to drop your hips down towards the floor. And again. And let's go 2 more times. All right. So now just lying down on your belly. And you can put your hands together and just rest your head down on your hands. So what you're going to do here is you're going to just check in and try to get the front of your hips down on the mat, or as close to the mat as you can get them. Now you're going to bend the knees. Now, keeping the front of your hips down on the mat, lift one knee and lower, and lift the other knee and lower, and lift and lower. So what I want to make sure here is when I say keep the front of your hips down, what a lot of people will do, because those hip flexors are so very tight, when they go to lift the leg, this happens. And we get this lift under. So I don't want that. I want you to keep the front of your hips down and only lift the knee off the floor as high as you can. Making sure, of course, that you're pulling in your abdominals to support your lower back. And just give me some little knee lifts, and just taking the time to sort of check in with, you probably have one side that's easier to do than the other. Just really trying to fire into those glutes and get those hip flexors to stay out of it. All right, so now let's straighten out the legs. Your feet are going to be wider than your shoulders, or just a little bit wider than your shoulders. Hands beside your head. We're going to do the swan dive. So you're going to lengthen through the top of your head, pull your shoulders back, lift your chest, lift your belly, squeeze your bum. And just try to feel that length all up the front side of your body. And then come back down. And again, lengthening through the top of your head. Shoulders back and lift. And to come down, really think of pulling your elbows down towards your toes. And again. And lift your belly. And come down. Now, come on up. Now, as you tip forward, as you lower down through the upper body, your legs are going to come with you. So you're rocking that shape. Just a little bend to the elbows and press back up. Little bend to the elbows, press back up. Two more. And then you can come down, and let's just sit back and have a little stretch. stretch. Nice big, long, deep breaths. All right. On your side now. So we're going to go here with your elbow directly under your shoulder. And what I want you to do here is your knees are bent, but I don't want your knees to be in front of you. Pull your knees back so your feet are behind you. So ideally what we're after is a straight line from the shoulders to the knees. Okay, so we're trying to eliminate as much as we can that hip fold. Okay, so now all I want you to do first is just sink down into that shoulder and lift. Sink down and lift. Sink down and lift. And again, sink down and lift. One more time, sink down and lift. Now stay lifted. So not just lifting up and out of the shoulder, but under the waist and under the ribs. Now lift the hip up and lower. So don't do what I just did as I pushed away from my elbow. I want your elbow to be directly under your shoulder and press up and lower. Press up and lower. Press up and lower. Now press up, open that knee and lower the hip. Lift the hip up off the floor, open or lift that top knee, feet stay together and lower. And again. One more. And other side. All right, so again, pull your feet behind you so that you're aiming for that nice straight line right through down to your knees. Sink down into your shoulder and lift. Sink down and lift. Sink down and lift. Sink down and lift. Let's go one more time. Sink down and lift. Now, keep that lift in the shoulder, under the ribs, under the waist. Lift the hip and lower. Lift the hip and lower. That's it. And keep that elbow under the shoulder. And lift that hip and lower. And lift and lower. Now lift. Stay lifted, open or lift that top knee and lower the hip. Lift the hip, lift the top knee, lower, and again. And I don't know, 2 more. Lower, and last time. And lower. All right, so now what I'm going to get you to do is roll your mat up. So if you've got one of the thin sort of yoga type mats that I have here, you're going to roll it up probably all the way or pretty close. If you have the thicker Pilates mats, you may only need to roll it up maybe just a third of the way. And you're going to stand on it. So it's just to give you a little elevation and a little bit of an unstable surface to stand on. All right, and you're going to keep your legs straight, and you're going to lift the hip and lower the hip. Lift and lower. Keeping both legs straight. So I'm not bending and straightening that standing knee. Nope, that leg stays straight, and I'm just tipping the pelvis. And you should really feel that work to stabilize in that standing hip. And let's do the other side. Then both legs straight and hike the hip up and lower. So we're just tipping the pelvis. That's it. Make sure you're not bending that leg. All right, so now you're going to get as much of your foot up there as you can get while still keeping the heel on the floor. Actually, here, I'll stand like this. Okay, now what you're going to do is try to keep that heel down and step forwards and back. So we're getting a stretch through the calf, getting that ankle moving. Feel that stretch up the calf. And just step forwards and back, and you'll find it starts to loosen up even after just the first few times. Maybe you can get a little bit further. Bend that front knee to get a little extra lean. Now, just turn your toes in a little bit, just a bit. Just turn them in and go again. Step forwards and back. And so you'll just feel how that will give you a stretch in the ankle and the calf, just in a little bit of a different spot, more the outside of your leg. And let's switch to the other side. So first the toes are pointing forward, and step forwards and back. Feel that stretch up the calf. So I started teaching myself how to knit yesterday. Yeah, it's going to take some practice, I think. My goal is to learn how to knit slippers. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So now turn the toes in a little bit, and again, and just feel how that moves the stretch to the outside of your ankle, of your leg, just a bit more. Okay, and let's unroll your mat. All right, lying down. All right, so let's have your legs and feet just a little bit apart, feet flat on the floor, and you're going to have your arms straight up to the ceiling. Give me a little nod of the head. Slide your ribs down, roll your head and shoulders up, look at your knees. Take your arms back and lower down. Inhale, a little nod of the head, tucking the chin. Pull your ribs down into your belly, and that's what pulls you up, so you can release a whole lot of tension in your neck. And arms back and lower. And again, and make sure here that your pelvis is in neutral, and as you do your little pull up, that you don't lose your neutral. And arms back and lower, and again. And arms back. And let's go again. Nod the head, roll it up and reach. And again, arms up, reach. And let's go one more time. All right, so now you're just going to grab behind your knees. What I want you to do is pull your knees in towards your nose, but I also want you to nod the head and pull your nose up to your knees. And release. And again. You're trying to just curl yourself up into a little ball. Two more. sitting up. All right, so behind you is a grape. You're going to squish that grape. So you're going to roll back, trying to get your sacrum to squish that grape. And then you can grab onto your knees here because I really want you to work this curve to come up. So I don't want you to pull up from your hips. I want you to slide those ribs down to work that curve to come up. And again, roll back, squish your grape. Grab behind your knees to help with that curve, sliding your ribs down and sitting up. And again. And curve. And roll it back. And slide those ribs down and curve it forward. And up, 2 more. And 1 more. Good. So now you're going to again curve it back. Stay here. Take your arms over to one side, over to the other side, and come up. So I'm just going to just time out for a moment. So if when we start to do this, we add the twisting side to side, if that bothers your back, if any of this bothers your back, then we're going to modify it. So instead of rounding back, instead you'll lean just a little bit back, but with a straight back, and then add the rotation. Okay, so let's go. Roll it back and really stay there. But now take the arms side to side, and it's not just the arms, but you are rotating and rotate, rotate. One more time each side. And then come up. So now you're going to have your feet together and your knees apart, and you are going to now lean straight back. So try to drop your knees and keep your knees dropping and lean straight back. Open your arms, lift them up and lower and come up. And again, keep those knees dropping, lean straight back. Open the arms, reach up, and come up. And again, lean back and reach up. And again. And one more time. All right, so now you're going to have your feet nice and wide, and you're going to just let your knees drop side to side. Try to keep your sit bones down, so we're not lifting that cheek and coming off. Let's leave it down. You shouldn't try to force the knees though, just let them drop, see where they go. So now let your knees drop over to the right and turn and face where your right knee is pointing. Put your hands on either side of your right knee. And you're going to do our little stretch wave. So you're going to lift your chest up. Inhale and exhale, roll it up. Inhale and exhale. Trying to really lay yourself down and feel that stretch in that right hip. Now, move your hands to the outside or to the right of your right knee and go again. Inhale up and down and exhale, roll it up. Nice big deep breaths. Don't hold your breath. If you find as you're doing this that you have trouble breathing in some spots, that your breath sort of catches, then you're probably just pushing the stretch too far. Should be able to breathe throughout the movement. Now, leave your right hand where it is. Take your left hand very far away. Get down low and move side to side. So just stretching out all angles in that right hip as you move side to side. And still breathing deeply. All right, now put your right elbow down on the floor. Lift your left arm up, open your chest. Nice big deep breath in. And exhale, reach under your right arm. And again, inhale. And exhale. This time, reach over your right arm. And last time, reach under. And let's sit back up. And let's take the feet wide again. And drop the knees side to side. And let's go to the other side. Turn and face the direction that your left knee is pointing. Put your hands on either side of your left knee. Reach your chest up. Take a nice big inhale and exhale. And now move your hands to the outside or to the left of your left knee and go again. Nice big inhale, exhale. Keep breathing deeply. Now leave your left hand where it is. Take your right hand very far away and get down low and stay low as you move side to side. Again, just sort of feeling how that changes the stretch, changes the angle. Now put your left elbow down, reach your right arm up, inhale, exhale, reach under your left arm. And again, reach up and under. And up and under. And this time reach over the left arm. And one last time, reach under. And come on up. And again, take your feet wide and let those knees drop side to side. All right, so now let your knees drop to the right. And you're going to come up onto your knees. You're going to come up and slowly lower back down. And again, up. Trying to make sure here that you really are trying to push yourself up and slowly lower. If you need to use your hands to get up, by all means. But if you don't need to use your arms, then don't. Try to really just lower down with control. And up. And down. And let's go over to the other side. And up. Slowly lower. And up. And slowly lower. One more. right, now let's go to the other side again. This time you're going to come up and that back foot, bring it forward and back and down. Up, swing that front leg forward and bring it back and down and up, forward, back and down, up, forward. All right, let's do the other side. All right, so again, up, that back leg, swing it forward, back, and down, and up, forward, back, down, up. Two more? Okay, two more. All right, so now have a seat with your legs out in front of you. Again, about shoulder distance apart. Again, here you can roll your mat up. Actually, let's just do that. So roll your mat up and sit on it. And again, this gives you that little bit of elevation. Make it more comfortable. And those hip flexors don't have to work so hard to keep you nice and vertical. So I want you to imagine that behind you is a wall, and you're going to slide yourself up that wall. Now from the top of your head, peel yourself, curve yourself away from that wall. Nice big deep breath. And then come back up. And again. And again, reach. And as much as you're reaching forward, you have to pull those abdominals in and back. And let's go two more. And last time. And standing up. All right, so you're going to be standing on one leg, take the other leg out behind you. You're going to lift that back leg and tip forward. And up. Lift the back leg and tip. Lift and tip. And let's do the other leg. Take the other leg back, lift that back leg, and tip. Woo! I tipped so much I fell over. And lift the back leg and tip. All right, so now you're gonna have one leg forward and one foot back. Take a look at that back foot. Try to get your toes pointing forward as much as possible. And you're going to just bend that front knee and straighten. Bend and straighten. Now you're going to come up onto your toes, reach your arms up, and then reach that heel back. Come up onto the toes on that back foot and reach the heel back. And again. And one more. Then what you're going to do is you're going to dive forward onto that front leg, lift the back leg, hold it there and balance. What? So you're going to reach and balance. Hold it here and lower that leg and lift and lift. Two more. And let's do all that on the other leg. So again, check that back foot. Get those toes pointing straight forward as best you can. And first you're going to just bend that front knee and straighten. Bend that front knee and straighten. Now, come up onto the toes on that back foot, reach the arms up, and then reach the heel back. Up onto the toes on that back foot, and reach the heel back. Two more. And now dive forward, lift that back leg, hold and balance. And lower that leg and lift, and lower and lift. Two more. And now take your legs wide and reach your fingers to either side of the room. Reach your elbows to either side of the room and pull your fingers back. Keep reaching your elbows as far away from your center as you can. Big deep breaths in and out. And release and reach up. Now lift the chest. Inhale, exhale, get down. We did a lot of work to open up those hips today, so get down into those hips. And up. And exhale. And one more time. And exhale. Awesome. Well, I hope that helps release some of that tension in your hips. Have a great day and see you next time.